welcome in, welcome in. It is the Woke in Business podcast hosted by yours truly, Miss Cat, the founder of the Woke Money Movement. And we are your cash flow connection. Okay. Look, you like that, don't you?
Like
Look,
that flow.
Look,
Okay.
Miss Cat, your cash flow connection. I'm gonna coin that. But anyway, so yes, we are here with yet another Monday, yet another great guest. And before we get started, even though tonight my guest she's like, no, not tonight. I want to be in a sober mind, and it's okay because woke money will get you right. Okay, but what I'm gonna do is at least give a shout out to the Woke Money wine. Y'all know how we do. It's 17% fortified, all natural, gluten free. Shout out to Signature Sips who crafts this great liquid gold for us. All right. Wow. Now, y'all see it on here on Instagram. You know, I'm trying to go live on Instagram, y'all. But anyway, so welcome into the podcast. So as per our custom, I would like you to introduce yourself to the great people that are listening and watching. And we're going to go from there. So tell us who you are and what it is that you do.
Thank you. Well, first of all, congratulations on your wine.
Thank you.
That's awesome. You're doing it. Okay, just streams. I like to see streams. And so you really doing it. So thank you. I wish I would have known. I would have brought you some flutes. And so I owe you.
Okay, I was about to say, because
some flutes.
Look, it's okay because we can bring them next time.
I'm all about the gifts. I believe in sewing, and so I'm definitely gonna.
I appreciate that.
So secondly, thank you. You know, once again for the opportunity to discuss this very important topic, right?
Yes.
On estate planning and the associated risks involved when we don't have our affairs in order. Okay,
thank you for that. we gotta get into it, but we want to know, because I know, look, you posted, I posted something the other day. You said, baby, I done paid a lot of money for this degree. Okay. So before we jump into what it is that you do, introduce yourself.
Absolutely.
And just let us know who you are and who you represent.
Absolutely. Well, my name is LaTrice Martin. I'm the Chief Operating Officer and Subject Matter Expert Speaker at Hamilton and Company Law Firm. In addition to managing my mid-sized law firm, I am responsible for the education of our community. Okay, my goal this year is to make sure that we reach every community in Houston and the surrounding areas, and express the importance of owning a trust and maintaining our wealth, because we talk a lot about gaining wealth, right?
Exactly.
But we got to talk about maintaining the wealth that we already gained. We're doing a lot. We're doing a lot, right? And so, like, you got your all of your businesses,
yes,
right? Because I read up on you and stuff. You got it going on. So we got to talk about maintaining some of this wealth that we.
I love it. I love it.
Right?
I love it.
And so that's who I am, and that's what I do. I manage a law firm and educate the community.
I got you. I got you. Well, look, you're doing a thing, a phenomenal thing, by the way, because this is kind of like, untapped. Well,
that's what people say. It's sad.
It's very sad.
But I'm here for it.
And that's why I said it makes me excited, because I get to share a resource that a lot of people just aren't tapped into. Right. Yeah. So I don't even want to waste any time. Let's jump into it. So why do we need a trust? And let's forget why. Let's cut to it, because I don't want to waste no time. I don't want your time to run out. We need to really talk about this. So why a trust? Why?
Well, I was speaking to someone the other day, and they said we just kind of caught on to wills, and that we need a will, right? Or insurance and things of that nature.
Yep.
But one of the things that we need to understand is that with the will, the will is not for your heir.
Okay.
People think I'm writing this will for my heir.
That is
right.
True. Okay.
But the will's not for your heir. That will is for the judge. The will is only as powerful as the person that you leave it to. Okay. And so what people don't realize is that when you only have a will, your heir is now responsible to enter probate court. And Texas has a lot of laws. So one of the first law you need to understand is that means they have to hire an attorney. because probate court, you cannot enter probate court without a probate lawyer or a
Wow.
lawyer.
Wow.
Because a lot of people wind up with the wrong lawyer because they don't practice probate. Right. So we have a lot of clients who contact us and, you know, I've been in probate court for 2 years. I'm trying to get the property transferred to my name. My mom died 3-4 years ago. You know, taxes are due, the mortgage is in foreclosure, all those types of things. And stuff happens when we pass away. You know, we're going to pass away.
Yeah.
You got the word? Because a lot of people don't get they don't have the word. Like they think that we think we're going to live forever.
And not to cut you off, but that is why this woke money, woke in business, like that's why this is so important, this platform, because we talk about that all the time. Like, I know you don't want to think about it. I know that you think that you're going to live forever, but unfortunately, that's not the case.
And we don't know the day.
We
don't know the time nor the day.
Facts.
So the day is coming.
Facts.
If you have no will, or if you only have a will, then you are responsible for going to probate court. This is in the instance, now let me back up. In the instance that you leave property or land or a home, if there's real estate,
then
that real estate has to enter probate court.
Understood.
Right. And so I'm talking about all the things that can happen, all the cause and the effect. If there's a mortgage on the property, mortgage company is going to stop your mortgage payment if you haven't entered probate. This person passed away.
Wow.
It is illegal. It is fraud to sit in a home that's not in your name.
Wow.
Okay. Florida, we're not Florida, but I just posted the other day. Florida just passed a law that if you're in a home that's not in your name and there's a mortgage, you're a squatter, and they're saying, guess what? They just passed a law saying squatting is now considered a criminal law. It's a criminal defense now.
Wow.
So they're putting people in jail for this.
Wow.
So back to my point
that you have
the will will you have to go to probate court, which means you have to have a lawyer. And guess what? For us, Black and brown people, I have to say it, most of us, we're not going to go. So you leave a home, your home is valued at $500,000, and then you pass away. Your heir has this will. The mortgage company now says, you have to have probate. Oh my God, what is probate? So they call a lawyer, and the lawyer says $15,000, $20,000.
Wow.
Your home, they may walk away. There's a great chance they're going to walk away. I don't know about you. I'm from Third Ward. That's where I grew up at. And that area is the museum district now, right?
Exactly.
So the home that I grew up in, when we sold that home, my mom, praise God, still lives there, still has a home there. But the home I grew up in, my grandmother's home, we sold the home. It was 2006. I sold it at the time for $250,000. That land, just the land alone, is worth $900 today.
Jesus.
$900, right?
Gotcha.
So walking away from a property that would potentially be worth $1 million,
for sure,
right? And because someone says 25,000. Is typically what happened. When you ride through Third Ward, when you ride through Fifth Ward, when we're riding through South Park, what do you see? Abandoned property, abandoned land. This is what we see.
And then who goes and snatch it up? I'm sorry. That was, I didn't mean to say that.
Most of the time, it's not us.
Exactly.
We're the ones that are walking away from all of our
legacy. Our legacy,
right? That our ancestors died to own. They died for this property.
Yes.
Right? And then it gets into the wrong land. I said, there's a conundrum going on in our community. There's a trend. And the trend is, I build all of this wealth for myself, my children, and I pass away,
and then they can't even get access to it.
What? They lose the land, they lose the house, they lose the insurance policy. They're gonna go buy some Benzes and some Rolls Royces, and then in a year they're gonna be broke. So we gotta.
So we
talk about the trust because you asked about
So, but hold on before. Hold that thought, because I just want to make sure that the people that are listening, they're viewing, I want y'all to understand this. So to date, I would say to this day, woke money has been trying to bridge the gap of financial literacy, right? We've been trying to bridge the gap, but now we're bridging that gap. So we have Miss LaTrice here like, hey, guys, now that you're getting to the bag,
That's
you're
right.
getting the
There you go.
wealth.
There you go.
You have to preserve
There
it
you go. It is
because
not
it doesn't
wise.
make sense to
Mhm.
get all of this, acquire everything,
That's right.
and then now once you pass on,
That's
because
right.
the whole goal was to leave a
The
legacy.
entire goal. We have our seminars that we do once a month within the church. And we'll talk about
Yes.
that later. But one of the things we start with is a survey. And one of the questions we ask in the survey is, if you own property, why did you purchase the property?
And I would
Right.
imagine that 99.99% of the time,
It's like to leave it behind. To
Yes.
leave a legacy, leave it to
Yes.
my kids. Because if you're not gonna leave the property, if you don't plan to leave the land, I know we flip and we do all those types of things too, right?
yes,
But the property that you purchase to maintain, to leave behind, if that's not the goal, then we might as well just rent. Because that's sharecropping. If I'm going to purchase a property to die and my kids
don't even get
don't benefit at all, then I might as well just rent, just go get a condo in downtown and
Big
just
facts.
live there until I pass away, because I'm throwing away my money.
Big facts.
So it's like, bring it back. Why? And this continues to happen. So when they talk about, we've been saying this for years, we're 400 years behind. We're 400 years behind. And I'm like, we're not 400 years behind. We're probably 60 years behind of not retaining information.
Jesus.
Because we get this information and then we block the information. We don't want to trust anybody. We don't want to bring people in. We have to, somebody else bring you some information. You don't have to research their information. But let one of us bring the information. I got to go check your credentials, do a background check.
Yep.
Do your background check. It's out there. I got the degrees.
She do, y'all. She got all them letters behind her name, just so y'all know. But
that's what we do to our people.
And that,
so I'm like, come on, y'all. We gotta get it together.
It's beyond time. So let's talk about it. Trust. Yes.
So the trust, number one, it avoids the probate court.
Okay.
It's because remember I said at probate today, 2024, you're gonna spend about $15,000, $20,000, $30,000.
Did y'all? I don't know if they hearing this.
Okay.
Like the trust avoids the probate.
It avoids that. So you want to skip probate court first.
You're right. Okay.
You want the property to automatically transfer into your heir's name up on your debt.
Okay.
So transfer up on debt deed.
I like that.
Right. And so the property now is transferred into the trust. So you own property. You have 1 child, 2 children, 3 kids. How many kids you got?
I have 2.
You got 2. So this is what you tell people. Love my kids. I got 2. But you can't give 2 children a house.
Understood.
Right.
Understood.
Okay. You gotta you have to buy both of them a home. Like I own a home, and so I had to go get another property.
Yes.
Okay. Or you leave one a house, one some money, and one a car.
Gotcha.
Do it like that.
Gotcha.
Because if you have more than 1 child, they are going to fight.
Understood.
Right.
Understood.
A lot of us, what's common now is blended family.
That is true.
I got children. My husband got
children.
Okay.
Yes.
So guess what? It's another issue.
Yes, you're right.
Right. As soon as we close our eyes, that's my daddy's house.
Exactly.
You
remember,
what's the movie? Or like
I'm about to say that's all the movies when somebody passed away. That's so
They coming for the house.
No, for
the
real.
The number of cases that we have right now with the children coming after their parents' portion of the property against their spouse who is still alive.
Wow.
Deceased, and then a party still alive, and then the party to the one that's deceased, children coming for that portion. Because as soon as you die, you got somebody smart in the background saying, that house belonged to you. Right. And they're probably worth 500, and then they start saying, I want my portion.
I want my portion.
So if the property is not owned by the trust with instructions, because the first thing the trust is going to give you is instructions.
I love it. Point of fact.
The will just says who and what, and it has to go to court. Remember?
Yes.
So the will says, I own a home. I want to leave this home to my daughter. That's it. The trust says, I have $1 million. I want to leave $1 million or 500,000 to my daughter.
Yep.
But today she's 28.
Yep.
I can't give her $1 million today.
Gotcha.
This trust says when she's 30 or when I die, she'll get 100,000.
So very point of fact. Very point of fact.
When she is 30, she'll get another 50.
Makes sense.
When she gets a degree. When she gets another degree, she'll get blah.
Understood.
When she gets married and has some children, she has to do her own big policy, and then she'll get this.
Understood.
And then by the time she comes to the age of wisdom around 40, then maybe she'll get all of it. Understood. But that's the trust. The trust says who, what, when, why, and how I want you to do it. So like for people like me who like to be in control, because you seem like somebody like to be in control.
Hey, just a little bit, just a scooch.
I'm like, I gotta run the show for my grave, so I gotta have a trust, because I can't tell you what to do in a will.
Oh, for sure.
Right? The court's gonna tell you what to do.
Understood. And then you don't even know if they're gonna really honor your
absolutely. Because
exactly.
The trust can be disputed.
Understood.
Okay, and so now you not the trust, I'm sorry.
The will, yes,
can be disputed, contested is what it's
understood.
Called. And so that's when the prices start going up. And guess what? All of them are contested just about. Very rarely do you get a will that's not going to be contested.
Wow.
Okay, and so trust, bypass your court. We're not contesting it. My rules are already here. You can't be mad at my daughter. You can only be mad at me. I'm gone.
And what you gonna do? Come dig me up.
I'm gone. And now the trust owns the home with all my rules.
I love it.
What are my rules? You can rent the property. You can pay my taxes. You can then, if you decide to rent, after you pay my taxes, after there is upkeep, now you can keep some of the money.
Understood.
Right? After you handle my business.
So let me ask you this, because one thing that you mentioned was the fact that if you own the property, but I, noticed that you mentioned a lot of times people in foreclosure.
Absolutely.
So how does that
happen?
Yes.
So there's no trust.
Gotcha.
So there may be a will, and then the will may be contested. There may be a mortgage. Now, this is what people don't know. If you have a mortgage on your home and you pass away, the mortgage company is going to stop anyone from paying that mortgage if it's not in a trust.
Do y'all hear that? I just
so
I don't know if they're catching this. Y'all.
You die in February. The payments due March 1st. The mortgage company gets the notice. What? She passed. Somebody tries to send in a payment. They send it back and say, no, you have to probate the property. She's passed away.
And just lose just like that.
And then what happens often is, as soon as they say you got to probate, they start calling attorneys, and most of the time,
like you said,
they don't want to pay. When they get the cost of the probate, they're like, oh Lord, no. They don't realize the value in the property. Number one, they didn't pay for it. So you got people fighting over property they didn't purchase.
Wow.
Okay. And so when they get the cost of probate, $6,000, $7,000, $15,000, $20,000, it's like,
oh well,
I'm gonna call you back.
Yeah.
The next thing, that property is
gone.
It's in foreclosure.
Wow.
The other reason why I would go in foreclosure, they avoid the probate. They stay in the house. We have a lot of these cases. They live in the house. 6 years go by, 10 years go by. Will wouldn't even matter at that point because the will is only valid for 4 years. And so all the years go by. They never probate the property. You're passed away. The tax collector now comes back and says, you never probated this property. It was still in your grandmother's name. Now you owe us $60,000.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. So now you got to pay for a probate. That's $25,000, $30,000. And you got to pay for your taxes, because that's another issue. The tax problem is still there.
Wow.
So they stopped accepting taxes. You got to pay probate. You still looking at this tax bill over here. There you go, foreclosure. So mortgage foreclosure is when people fail to probate. Tax foreclosure because people fail to probate. And then the other reason why we have foreclosure is because of the fights that break out. We can't go to court. Let me just be real with you. We don't make it through court. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5. You know how our grandparents did. 8 children.
Yep.
You're going to have one child that say they want the house, or a couple say they want it. Then you have a couple, 1 or 2 that say they want their money. I just want my money.
Hmm.
If they know it's some money involved,
yeah.
Right? It's 10 children and the home is worth 100,000. That's the low end.
Yeah.
In Houston, 100,000. Then they're already in there. They're calculating
10,000 a piece.
10,000.
Yeah, exactly.
So they say they want 10,000. Well, guess what? You can't split a house. That's why I say you can't split the house.
Yeah,
you got to make the decision.
I got you.
Because the court's gonna say you got to sell the property because you can't split the house. So now, even the legacy, though you might not have wanted that house to be sold,
legacy that you wanted this to be Big Mama's house right. that people can come to every Thanksgiving. You done lost. You lost it.
The court says sell it.
Wow.
The court says sell it. They're not going to deal with all of that.
Yes.
Okay. And so they sell the property, or they just fight. They keep fighting until taxes are due. The bills are going up. The court goes ahead. They go ahead and sell it.
Wow.
The property was foreclosed. So we're riding through, like I said, Third Ward, Fifth Ward, South Park. These are our communities. They're being foreclosed because we don't make it through probate court. We don't pay the mortgage. We're not paying the taxes. We're sitting in the homes and we're failing to probate. And this is not a new law. Probate has been the law since 1782. I might be a little off on that date. On that year,
but it's been long enough that we know. Look, we should know. We should know this by now.
And people, give us information. We reject the information, but this is what it is.
Well, look, y'all heard it here first, so you could accept it, reject it, like whatever you want to do. But we have a phenomenal person here, and tell us about like what you guys are doing in the community, because I know that, like you said, this is a community issue. We're trying to save our communities.
Absolutely.
And so I know that you are advocating for this. You're going out in the community. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, our initial goal was to collaborate with 12 churches, 12 communities over 12 months through the initiative called the Power of 12 Legacy Seminars. Okay. That's a goal we already achieved.
Okay, girl.
Okay. Our new aim is to partner with 48 churches in all communities in Houston.
Okay.
Now, what we're working on right now is kind of like what you're doing, a conference.
Okay.
Our conference is a legacy planning conference. And you know what? I was telling somebody today, because I'm doing your conference in June, we hadn't came up with a date yet. So I said we were going to do it in June. So now we're moving it back to July.
Gotcha.
And so our legacy planning conference will cover wills, of course, trust, but also topics like life insurance, pre-need burials, endowments, and comprehensive legacy planning strategies for families like the Jeminsons. You know what the Jeminsons are? They sustain legacy for the last 104 years through Franklin Beauty School right here in Houston, Texas.
I'm familiar.
So they're going to join forces with us in the conference and come out and try to help us educate some of our families on how, because I want to know how you do it. Right? How do I get my kids involved, get my kids to grab on and just, the Bible talks about this. It talks about the next generation always taking things to the next level.
It sure does.
And that's what we see when we begin to build these legacies. And so we're going to bring them in. Now, we're doing this, like I said, through the church community, and it's important that the church gets involved. Churches wield immense influence as agents of change, right? People go to church for change. By sharing knowledge, we can collectively improve financial literacy and wealth retention. We don't have a problem in our community with making money.
You're right about that. I think we all hustlers.
I think we like born hustlers.
Yes, you're right about that. But it's the retention part.
It is.
I love
it's retaining the wealth.
Yes.
And so it's a major that we really focus on retaining wealth. And I think that if we, collaborate with where we should go for change.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because people shouldn't go to church and then remain the same. That's my thing right now.
That is true.
And so I have an issue with that. I have an issue because here's the thing. If I have knowledge and we're connected, then I should be making sure you have this knowledge.
Yeah.
And if you have this knowledge, then everybody that comes
around you,
get connected to you should get the same knowledge. Because we say, if I know better, I do better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But for some reason, people not doing better. They doing worse. Right. And so that's what we're doing. We want to reach the entire Houston community and every connected community everything that's connected to Houston
I
this year, 2024.
I just want to say, look, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want to say what you guys are doing, it just makes my heart just glow because that's why there's such a synergy, and that's why I am so blessed to have you guys a part of the Woke Money Conference. Guys, if you have been tapped in for this, 20-30 minutes that we've been talking, you can see the immense value in what this law firm is doing, not just for the conference, but for the community, for just indefinitely. Okay. Absolutely. So if you are looking, and maybe you might not be financially where you want to be. Absolutely. You might not be there yet, but I think that writing a vision, making it plain, I think that having the resources readily available, so when you do get in position, you know where to go, right? Because we do perish due to the lack of knowledge, and so the knowledge is here, right? So when they are ready, or they might be ready right now, right? Or they might be a church that is like, hey, I need to be a part of the initiative. How do we get in touch? How do we get connected with you?
Absolutely. Our website is www.law-hc.com.
Okay.
And if if it's a church, they can click on Power of 12.
Okay.
Fill out the information and we'll call them and they can connect with us on becoming a part of the Power of 12 seminars, legacy seminars, which means we'll host a seminar. We'll come to their church. We'll host a seminar in their church for their church and their community on any given month this year.
Jeez, okay. I mean, that is invaluable. I just hope, part of what I do, like you said, and that's why we call it. So we're taking back the word woke. Absolutely. We're taking back the word woke, because people hear woke, they start going crazy, saying all this other kind of stuff. But really, we just want you to wake up. Absolutely. Because like you said, I can give you all the information in the world, but if you're not woke and ready to receive it, then what? Then what? So I'm just praying that the individuals under the sound of our voice, that's hearing us and or watching us, because we're a little emotional, because this is serious business.
Reason to be.
This is serious business. But I just hope that everybody understands how important it is to really, really not even consider, but get with you. Immediately and get yourself a trust, especially if you already have assets, if you have a house, if you have anything that needs protection,
life insurance policy. Even if you have a life insurance policy, the life insurance policy needs to the beneficiary. People don't know this. On your life insurance policy, it needs to be your trust, not your children. Unfortunately, not your spouse.
Do y'all? Okay.
Right. The trust needs to be.
So y'all heard it here first, y'all. The trust should be the beneficiary, because the trust will dictate in your passing. It'll tell, like, first of all, we don't want to go to probate. We already realized that. We don't want that. So we get to bypass the probate, and it's going to dictate your wishes.
That's right.
Why? Like, it doesn't make any logical sense, like you said, to gain everything and then not protect it, or not,
not wise.
Doesn't make any sense. Before we go, love, because first of all, what I want y'all to understand is this wonderful powerhouse will be at the conference. That you like, if you just want to come just so you can just come and do this, you know what I'm saying? It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Look, just get a little, if I could just touch the hem of her garden, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, you want to be in a building, because this is the type of power and energy and networking and just information that you're going to receive when you come to the conference. So before we go, because unfortunately we can't be here all day as much as I would love to.
I know. Right? We talk about this. We talk about trust. I got 3 hours.
Look, she got a note.
Y'all got to come to the conference. I want that 3 hours.
See, that's what I'm about to say. So we give you a little. We're going to give you a little piece, a little, a little nugget here or two. But honestly, this is what the conference is for. This is what it's all about.
That's right.
So before we go, though, is there any final thing, anything else that you want the people to know? What can we look forward to at the conference? Just let us get us out of here.
Gotcha. So again, our
Mm.
our website is www.law-hc.com.
Okay.
If it's a church, they can go to Power of 12 and schedule a consultation with us so we
Okay.
can get them signed up. If it's an individual, we have Brunch with a Purpose. They can go to Brunch Purpose and they can sign up to, I used to bring your family together every Sunday at the kitchen table, where they can do that and they can bring us. So they do a brunch, they bring us, and we'll educate the entire family from the great grandmother on down to the last working person needs to know about a trust. There needs to be no excuse this year when someone passed away. Oh, I didn't know. So that if it's an individual and they have some assets or they have no assets, but they may prepare
to exactly
right prepare for assets. They have children, you have children, you have yourself, you have your body, because something can happen to yourself. You have a wreck, right?
For sure.
So you still need to have a trust, because if something happens to you and then your heirs, and I know I'm long-winded, benefit from your estate, then that money still needs to go into your trust. And so all kind of reasons, we're going to talk about that at the conference, the Woke conference. We'll talk about it, but then they still need to do that. They have our website. Our phone number is 832-699-8769. You can call, you can text us. If you want to trust. We do free wheels. The wheels are free. Okay. We give those for free.
Okay.
So if they want to trust, or if they just want a free wheel, or if they need a probate because they're sitting in a home in their grandmother's name, that's going to
eventually,
it's gonna blow up.
If
you need a probate, give us a call as well. Or if you're facing foreclosure, because we are real estate foreclosure attorneys. So I have a 15 attorneys in my office who can help.
I don't look, if they didn't hear it, I don't know. Look, I don't know what else to say. This has definitely been one for the books. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. I enjoyed myself.
Thank you so much for coming through to the WokeNBusiness podcast. Like she said, she will be at the Woke Money Conference this June 8th. Please get your tickets. Yes. If not, just to be around some great people, but just to get the information that most likely you've been trying to Google, you've been trying to figure it out. Like you said, you may be trying to acquire some things or prepare to to acquire some things. You want to be at this conference. So June 8th, you can see Miss LaTrice and many others. But we appreciate you stopping by. Make sure y'all stay tapped in. Thank you so much. So we're gonna go ahead and get into a commercial, and then you know how we do here at the WokeNBusiness podcast. But thank you so much for joining us. You be blessed.